Good day, ma'am. We're going to report our final survey, Ibas Residential Security Survey. The survey was done upon the sole request of the security personnel under the authority of the Beaumont Security Agency to suffice the assessment of the level of security of the Ipo Residential at at Kibalang, Barangay Marilog, Marilog District, Davao City. This is lot area. Approximated lot area is 5.48 hectares. Establishment survey. This is the first gate and the back gate. This is the barbed wire. And this is the umay, called umay tree. And this is na mauni ang stream na nag-serve sa as natural barrier. The whole area is surrounded by a full view fence. The gates are made out of woods. Streams are situated on the east, west, and north side of the whole area just before the fence. Uway tree is planted on the area where hogwire or just already damaged. Especially the hogwire with 47 tall with a hook and eye. Lock system, the stream is pretty deep and water grow when heavy rainfall occurs. Sa mga part nga mga daot and hogwire kay tungod daan na kay gitanuman og uway. The uway serves as a barrier since picky siya ang dili siya madali-dali og putol.
So, what's up guys? For now, I will discuss about the second line of defense in security system. So, in our survey, this is the main house. So, um, the second line of defense, the door, balcony door, front door, back door, and the windows. Yeah. The second line of defense are made up, usually like a door, wall, roof, window, um, everything that part of your house, something like that. So the situation this is door are made out of hardwood. So usually the door has made up heavy material like wood or glass. So so that the intruders are has a hard time to enter the house because it is made up of solid substances. And also the walls are made up of handwood and bamboo strips. There are also portions of the building wherein the bamboo strips are greater spaces in between. So I recommended that uh, the wall should be made up of hard wooden or uh, um, hard heavy materials so that it will be more secure. So their windows is made up of bamboo strips like that. So um, I recommend that the window also is made up of hard material. I solid substances because window are another attractive entry points of trespassers aside from doors. So I recommended that the window should be placed 18 inches from the ground, and also it should put or install double lock double lock in the window so that it will be more secured from the threats. So the the support building is the kitchen. So second line of defense is the door, then kitchen windows. So the doors are made of hardwood also. The building was elevated. The walls are made up of the handwood bamboo strips. So there are also portions of the building where the bamboo strips are greater space in between. So support buildings of animal cage, um, the chicken cage and goat den are made out of bamboo also. So the pig's home is made out of balete tree. So this balete tree is also a hardwood or uh, solid sentences. So that's all for today. Thank you for.
So the third line of defense is the cabinet where we store our important documents like sketch map of the land area, other valuable things that are important um, in the whole household. And as we can see in the example, the cabinet is not visible at night, so the intruders won't see it easily and break it and get those documents inside the cabinet. The next picture is the guard force, which is we have examples of two tied dogs and two free roaming dogs. So the two free roaming dogs are quite somehow helpful because it may delay or it may delay the intruder during entry in the household or specifically in the lot area. And we have these important valuables, which is motorcycle, money, right, which is in a piggy bank, and the gadgets. So these valuables should be kept in a secure place or maybe in a shed, and or it may be locked at all times. So like the motorcycle, you could lock the handlebars so that it won't be easily to be stolen. So that's
Majority of the area is used as a farmland. The family have a lot of animals, which includes pigeons. They also have 6 goats and a lot of chickens. Another valuable that they have are of course crops and trees. They have lots of banana trees, abaca, falcata, and mango trees. They also consider flowers and other plants as valuable because they sell them since it's quite popular today. Next is documents such as deed of sale, map of the vicinity, marriage contracts, birth certificates, and other legal documents. Other valuables includes one motorcycle, a Mio color black, and of course money. They also have gadgets such as cell phones, power banks, and radio. Security lighting. So the security lighting of the vicinity are only lampara and flashlights because the entire area doesn't have any electricity. Security, alarm, and communication. So means of alarm that is used in the vicinity are the dogs, since these dogs bark or notify the residents whenever they hear unusual sounds or see sudden movements in the area. They are quite effective because they can see at any time of the day, they can see during night, and they can also see during daytime. Way of their communication is through cell phone. They communicate to their relatives from away from the vicinity through text or to call or through social media such as Facebook and Messenger. Protective locks and keys. So there are a lot of locks used in the house of the family. They use ordinary locks, and they also have barrel bolts, and each locks have different keys, and each keys also have duplicates. like in the picture. There's a lot of keys and locks. Emergency planning. So the area doesn't also have a water, like the water district, Davao City Water District. Its water source is from natural water, like a spring, so it's unlimited, it's flowing always, and they don't have any bill to pay, so which makes it beneficial for them because they don't have to pay. They also have, they also always stock food since they are far from the grocery stores or any stores, so most of the time they stock goods such as vegetables and fruits, which are available within the area. They also have goods such as canned goods or noodles, but most of their foods are vegetables and fruits. So personal security. So the family is close knitted and they are God centered. They always makes time with each other and discuss things that they should have, or they should when they are all together. They protect each other and talk to one another. So documents and information security. All their documents, legal documents, are put in a cabinet that has locks and their keys are placed in a safe area. The mother and the father have duplicates of the keys. So the legal documents are safe. Next is situation. So all important documents are kept in a cabinet with locks. Threats. So number one threat is fire. Why fire? Since the area doesn't have electricity, so most of the time they use lampara, and they also use firewood in cooking. So it's a threat because there's a tendency that the entire house might catch a fire, since majority of the materials that are used in the house are wood, and if it catches a fire it could easily be burnt out. Another threat is the dingding or the kalakat that are used as dingding in the area could easily caught fire and can easily be damaged if one really used strong force towards it. Another is wild animals. Since it's a farm area, it's a huge area, there is instances that wild animals such as snakes enters the vicinity that could harm the family or their livestock. Another is the locks itself, especially in the gates, because the locks in the gates are only hook and eye. So if one really intended to break into the gates, they could really do it because they can just use force and it would open. So in case of intrusion, the family have like weapons that they could use to protect themselves. One is a handmade or improvised gun. It has like a bala of Holland or a marble. It shoots from about 5 to 6 feet. So another is the hinagibans or mga tools that they use in farming, especially like sharp tools they use for cutting trees or weeds. They could also use it as a weapon to defend themselves in case of intrusion. And another one is bintik or sling. They can use marbles to serve as a bala in the bintik. So situation, security lighting is weak since it is only lampara and flashlights. It doesn't illuminate the entire vicinity since it's around 5 hectares, and the lampara and the flashlights light are very minimal. So windows are jealousy. It can easily be break if one throws a rock or smashed it hard. Hook and eye locks are installed in the gates, so it can be intruded easily. The most of the buildings, that the main building and the kitchen are both elevated. It adds also as a security in the house. For example, like the wild animals can get inside the house since it's elevated, and in case of floods, the water can go inside the house since it's not attached on the ground. And it's a large area, of course, since it's more than 5 hectares. Okay. Recommendations. First is the resident must have an electricity connection as soon as possible. So the very reason is they don't have any light in case there is like intruder at night and their dogs fail to detect it. It could be very dangerous for the family if they detect it too late. They don't also have source of electricity they could charge their phone with or their flashlight. So in case their phone died or their flashlight died, the only source of light they have is only lampara. Next is, as soon as there is an electricity connection, security lightings must be installed from the front gate to the yard and around the house. So since the area from the gate to the house is quite big, so there should be a light there to illuminate the pathway or the entire area, so the family could have a great visual on the area and the surrounding of the house. Next is, barbed wire should be used as a fence around the area. This will hinder the intruders to enter since it is made of pointed metals that could cause harm to the intruders. Next is, a taller fence and gates must be installed, of course, in the same reason pa din. Instead of wood as a foundation of defense, a concrete would be more recommended for more stable defense system. Since it's just a wood, intruders can just cut it down or use strong force towards it and it could just fall to the ground. So it's better if it's concrete, like it has a metal or cement. Another is, a top guard must also be installed above the fence, so when intruders decided to like climb on the fence, they would have a hard time or they can't climb at all because there is a top guard. So more security locks must be installed, especially at the gate, since they only use hook and eye. They should use more durable locks. So windows must be installed with grills, since they also only have jalousies which can easily be broken. So they must have like a grills, but the grills should be open only from the insides because they can't. It's dangerous to install permanent grills in case of emergencies. For example, there's a fire, so it's still important to have like an emergency exit, so the family should have the access inside to open those grills. Next is more guards. More guard dogs must be put in the vicinity, especially it's a large area and only a few numbers of dog can monitor the large vicinity. So that's the end of our report. Thank you so much and